So here we are, the render all done. Kabloosh. All good. And I know I said that I wasn't going to make any more tweaks, but I actually did do a couple more. I ended up using this blue cloth material for the chairs instead. I felt they were standing out too much in my render otherwise. So yeah, that was just a blue cloth here thing, and I swapped out the plastic for that. Also, I actually did end up doing 6 and 6 for the sampling. There we go, 6 and 6, and actually probably one of the more important ones, which I think is interesting and it might apply to you as well, is the shutter time on the camera I brought down. The default, I believe, is a half. That means it's going to motion blur half of the frame. This instead is an eighth of the frame. Considering how fast this thing is moving and how bright it is anyway, it made sense to bring the motion blur down quite a bit. So we still have motion blur, as you can see, coming in, but I really wanted to show the impact, and it's just too much of a muddied mess otherwise. So anyway, here it is, the final render. It does include the first frame there, which I guess we really don't need. So I'll just, there we go. Now it starts with frame 2. And here it is. So I hope this lesson was helpful. There's so many things about learning constraints that it's kind of difficult because it's like I said earlier, it's not that well documented, especially things like making the rest length 0 or really how to effectively build up those little granular pieces into systems that, break the constraints when this happens, or apply, this kind of material to these pieces and build that up into like some super system. There's a lot of grains. There's literally powerful bullet grains here, but it takes like a good system to really make it useful. This ends up like something like this. Denting, not built in. Deformed, rigid surfaces not really built in, all that stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. It's a lot of insider info in there. I'd love to see what you come up with it. And yeah, just hold on to this setup as like a template too, and then just make changes to it. You don't have to rebuild it every time you do a project. Obviously, you just change what you need to. So I'm rambling again. Yeah, there's an optional chapter coming up next that's just about how to export to Maya, if that's something you might be interested in. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for Applied Houdini.